Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to this New Year reading for January 2026. This is a monthly reading for the new month and the new year 2026. I am using the Arcanum Tarot for the main deck, and then I will pull out the Y Spell Tarot for a last few cards of clarification. And I've got the Oracle cards, Mystic Manifesting Oracle cards for that last finishing touch. Hoping to just get some clarification, some overview information for the full month of January for you. And Capricorn, you will be probably celebrating a birthday if you haven't already. So happy birthday to you. I hope that 2026 is everything that you could possibly want it to be and more. All the good, the love, the light, the abundance, and the truth that you could possibly ask for. All for your highest good. As I'm shuffling here, like I said, I do plan to just do a Celtic cross spread, a general overview, if I didn't already say that. I'm going to lay everything down, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. So just be tuning into your intuition, tuning into your higher self, seeking your highest form of truth, love, and light for this reading for you. Remember not to take it if it doesn't fit. Maybe bits and pieces work and bits and pieces don't. So it's all good. General collective reading for the sign Capricorn. And one final thing I did want to say is 2025 in Chinese zodiac astrology was the year of the snake. The 2026 year is year of the horse. So those are two pretty cool themes. If you've never looked into those kinds of things before, just type that up. Year of the snake, what we are leaving in 2025, and year of the horse, what we're entering 2026. Looking for the first card out to be your recent past. I like to think of that as what we are shutting the door on, what we're leaving behind, especially as the old year closes down and the new year begins. So in the very first card of this spread, we're looking for what is exiting our life, what is leaving our life, what energy, person, place, or thing are we saying goodbye to? It's on its way out. For Capricorn, the Page of Pentacles. Very earth-based energy there. What about the current position for Capricorn? Where are they currently standing, present in? What kind of energy are they feeling right now in this very right now moment, this present instant for Capricorn? Where are they standing, or what are they feeling? This earth-based energy, again, Hierophant. This is card number 5 of the Major Arcana. This is a Major Arcana for the sign Taurus. What's crossing them? What is challenging that energy for the sign Capricorn? What is coming in and creating a bit of a alternate feeling? It's kind of giving them a challenge. This Hierophant is standing strong and true, and what's crossing that? 7 of Cups, emotional, water energy there. What is on your mind? What is on Capricorn's mind? What are they thinking about a lot? They're possibly obsessing, can't get their head off of this topic, this person, place, or thing. What is a Capricorn thinking about a lot of the time? 8 of Pentacles, work. Plain and simple. What's down in the bottom of their being? They might not be aware, but it is certainly there. Something that is like an all-pervasive, maybe constant. And like I said, this might be an area you might not be taking a peek at. If you're someone that has a cellar in your home, I really like to think of this area as the cellar. Like, you know it's there. You just don't open the door and look down in there often, but it's there. That's your Knight of Pentacles. Very interesting. We have a lot of your terrain, a lot of earth energy here, a lot of grounded, centered, financial, job. Uh, so I think you've got your head down to the grindstone as January is unfolding, is the way it already just appears. What is in your near future? What is in the near future for the Capricorn that we're reading for? What is in the near future? Capricorn, 10 of Cups. This is emotional fulfillment. More water energy there. What about the external energy? For the month of January, it's an energy that's outside of you. It affects you. This could be your job. This could be a person in your life. This could be a friendship. This could be I don't know, gosh, your neighbors down the street, they affect you, but they're not you. External energy. 7 of Swords. Very interesting. Not that positive of a card, to be honest, but we'll circle back. What is your internal energy, Capricorn? What is going on inside of you? The internal energy that the Capricorn is holding in the month of January. Internal energy. Capricorn, Knight of Swords. You're on a mission. What is your hope and your fear? For the Capricorn that we're reading for, the hope simultaneously can also be a fear. That very thing we wish and hope for could also possibly scare the living daylights out of us. What is that for Capricorn? Sometimes it's success, achievement. This is 2 of Swords. That makes a lot of sense. This is mind, mental energy. We'll come back to it. The last card that we're looking for, the sign of Capricorn, is the final outcome. What is the curtain call for the month of January for the sign Capricorn? Capricorn. 6 of Swords. More mental energy. A lot of mental energy. In fact, this entire row is all air, which is you being in your head. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's what we're finding over here. Let's jump back to the beginning. Very first card, what is exiting as we enter January 26th is Page of Pentacles. This is a new job offer. This is a new opportunity. This is a new opportunity to invest your money. This is a think new opportunity, and you fill in the blank, what that means. Notice that this page, this generally, I was going to say conceived, perceived as a very naive person, a very immature person, someone that lacks wisdom. They lack a lot of the maturity that's necessary in order to make like real business deals, let's call it. This page just brings messages of those things. So if you remember or you know much about like the royalty kingdom days of the kings and queens, the page would be the one to come in with a message to deliver. That's exactly what they do in the tarot. They bring messages. They bring, in this instance, messages of pentacles, anything to do with your physical reality. So the Page of Pentacles, as 2026 arrives, whatever it was that they were bringing you a message about, that was prior to the new year beginning. So something, let's say October, November, December, was for you, some news came your way about Capricorn. Would you like to invest in my 401k program? Capricorn, would you like to start a business with me and go in on some sort of opportunity that I have this great idea for? Would you like to purchase this flip house and we'll fix it up and sell it and make buku bucks? Something like that. There was something kind of an offer came your way, and I don't know what you did with it, but that was prior to January starting. So that's there for you. Your current energy, your present position, as you find January opening up, here you are in this major arcana scenario, the Hierophant. And this is a spiritual teacher. The Hierophant is a major arcana for the sign of Taurus, which is your earth cousin. And they represent commitment. They represent teaching. They represent knowledge that is gained outside of you. So it's anything you find from a book, a website, a spiritual teacher like a clergy member at a church, a priest, pope, pastor, even could be like a counselor, somebody that you go to because they have knowledge that you don't. And so you seek them out. If this is you, then you've self-taught yourself master lessons. This Hierophant is no joke. They're commanding in their presence. When they step in the room, other people revere them because of what they know. So I'm sure you can have images of this kind of a person in your life of they step in the room and their garments declare who they are. Their presence declares who they are. If, like I said, if this is a work of knowledge in written form, it's world renowned. People know about it, like the Bible. That would be considered Hierophant. In its stature and its knowledge and place that you would go to gain spiritual knowledge. So the Hierophant is your present position. That is either you really seeking out other people's expertise or other outside of you sources' expertise, or that's you embodying that knowledge and expertise. What challenges you in that is your emotions. Your emotions are vast and varied. The Seven of Cups means options, choices, ideas, concepts. There are 7 cups before you, and each cup is full of something. Maybe your fantasies, your thoughts, your desires, your dreams, what you hope these cups have in them, you can't prove. These cups have mystery items in them. And the idea with the 7 of Cups is there's choices, but they could also be delusions. They could be fantasy land. So the 7 of Cups is, I don't know. I go back to that old show from the 70s, Fantasy Island. They just, everything seemed to just not be like exactly what it was supposed to be. So beware look how opposite these two energies are. That's why this is considered a challenge to the Hierophant, because he stands for everything known, everything you could research and find. He stands for knowledge that is, like, I'm going to say proven in the way that spiritual knowledge can be proven, just that it comes with a lot of respect and authority, whereas the 7 of Cups, no authority, a lot of times not even a lot of respect, because I just, the 7 of Cups is like you promising that one of these cups has $1 million in it, but that's just what you hope that it has in it. I hope this is all making sense. You just have a lot of choices and options in your emotions, and it's just conflicting, standing on truth versus standing on fantasy and wishing and dreaming. So 2 different things. That's how January seems to be unfolding. What's on your mind, though, more than anything else, it's consuming your brain, and that is 8 of Pentacles. This is earth energy. This is working yourself to the bone. This is sun up to sundown. I'm just going to keep myself focused on my job. I'm going to be a master of my craft. I'm going to be an expert in my field. I'm going to be that person that when you ask, generally there's a picture of like a person who makes shoes, like a cobbler, but when you ask for that perfect shoe, you're going to get it, and you're probably going to get the best shoe on the planet. So you're very wise, skilled, knowledgeable in what you do. You probably earn a very good living because of the knowledge that you possess. So there again, we're kind of referencing again the Hierophant, somebody with a lot of skilled knowledge that they've either learned on the job, on the trade, or, they've read about it, went to school for it, something like that. So you really are an expert in your field. I think the challenge is the emotions and what you're feeling about certain things. Down in the bottom, like I said, kind of in the cellar of your being, is this Knight of Pentacles energy, which is more earth-based energy, physical reality, a step up from the page, where the page brings the message of some kind of opportunity your way, and the Knight of Pentacles is on a mission with that piece of information. Whatever it was that the page brought your way, the Knight of Pentacles, maybe you've tucked it away. Maybe you've decided that you're going to think about this later. You're so focused and fixed on your job and doing a good job and just working yourself to the bone that, you're just not doing anything with it right now, but it's down there. And the interesting thing about the Knight of Pentacles is very, very, very slow. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the entire tarot card deck. So this is something that could take years to achieve. This is something that could take years to see its abundance, to see its fruition. This is like a seed gets planted in, say, 2026. It won't be ready for harvest for you to collect upon until 10, 15 years down the road. I mean, slow. That is an exaggeration, but that's just to give you an idea. The Knight of Pentacles ain't no fast pony. It's not one that you would bet on to win the fastest horse in the race. That is for sure. But they're very purposeful, very methodical, very strategic. So this is something down in the bottom of your being that you're either considering it, or you already have put your investment in and you're just waiting to see what happens to it. You know that you have, that's on your mind, but you've tucked it away now, like down into one of your pockets, and it's just there. You're still very much invested in something and you're on a mission to see it come to fruition, but for now, it's just tucked away. As you move into the future, more emotions. And this is still the month of January. And for some reason, there is this state of emotional fulfillment. This generally has to do with family. This generally has to do with a partner and children, and we've got the dogs and we've got the house and we've got our good health, and everybody feels emotionally contented. There's 10 cups and they're all full. There's a rainbow present, which just brings us back to like biblical stories of the rainbow came out once the flood was gone as a promise that there would never be another flood again. So it's some sort of confirmation promise in this card that emotional emptiness, that emotional desert that you might have felt, or even let's go as far as to say all of this emotional wishy-washiness that you experienced early on in the month, you're just standing 10 toes down on, I am intending to feel good. And I don't really need anybody else to be here or not be here. I choose to feel good. My emotional dial is set on content. And that's your future energy there. So that's actually really positive and good. Now we jump into all of this sword energy, all of this air energy, all of this mental side of the board, which starts off with your external energy being Seven of Swords. This is someone or something around you that affects you, and this is a sneaky bastard. This Seven of Swords individual, or let's just call this an investment opportunity. Maybe it was whatever Page of Pentacles brought your way. But if it is, let's go with that example. This investment opportunity, as January unfolds, you realize it's a scam. That messenger of that opportunity was actually full of shit. This is just hocus pocus, hoaxy. You looked it up, you looked into it, you realized that it was just a freaking scam. And if you, thank goodness you were careful, because you could have lost $7,000. I mean, this was something outside of you, and their intentions were shady. They were liars. They were cheaters. They were stealers. They intended to deceive you. They brought I don't know, sketchy energy your way. And they affect you because it's almost like as you come to the knowledge of it, you are, I don't know, I would think that you would be either really disappointed or really angry, rightfully so. And that, thank goodness, though, you learned about it. This is like it comes out just in the nick of time for you to save yourself from severe destruction. So while we don't ever want to learn that we have these kind of characters in our life, when we do find out, it's that thank you for showing me who you are kind of a feeling of, I thought there was something weird, and yep, there certainly was. So it's like you got proven right, maybe if you had any suspicions. Your internal energy then becomes the Knight of Swords. We talked about the Knight of Pentacles over here, old slow pony. This one, a little bit faster. In fact, quite fast. Not the fastest knight in the deck, but certainly right up there. We're talking weeks. if anything, it's weeks. This Knight of Swords moves quite rapidly towards their mission is communication. Their mission is to get information to something or to get away from something. Sometimes the Knight of Swords wants to be a runner. They want to run away from the problem. They want to run away from the confrontation. They just want to run away. They're on that horse and they just want to gallop the hell out. But sometimes they're moving like a knight would towards the battle, towards the scenario, towards the person, the place, the thing. We're going to have it out. We're going to talk. You and me, hey, Seven of Swords, dude, let's get to the bottom of this. You were trying to pull the wool over my eyes. You were trying to A, B, C, and D. So confrontational. The Knight of Swords, I wouldn't mess around with the Knight of Swords. I see them coming with that big sword held in the air. This is their truth. The sword represents their spoken, written, communicated truth. And they're fully protected. Their horse is protected. And like I said, they have a mission to accomplish in the way of communication. We're going to get to the bottom of something. You and me, or that group and I, we're going to figure it out. So let's talk. So that's your internal energy, Capricorn. That is a much different strategy than I think you usually like to take, because I see Capricorn as Eight of Pentacles. I see Capricorn as very strong, steady, sturdy. This rushing in to have that talk, to get to the bottom of something, it seems a little out of character, but not out of the ordinary for certain. If you need to accomplish something to learn the truth, by all means, you do you. Your hopes and fears, more sword energy. This is indecision. And that is a sucky place to be, in my opinion. To be indecisive, to have two truths and not know which freaking truth to accept. These swords are pointed in opposite directions. This person, interestingly enough, has a blindfold over their eyes, but their hands aren't preventing them from removing the blindfold. So in this instance, the Two of Swords represents a truth you're not willing to see. Capricorn, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. If this is the first time you're hearing this, and I don't think it is, because I think you're a very astute, wise person, but there is something that you're choosing not to look at. Because if you looked at it, you would have to do something about it. If you looked at whatever it is that you're choosing not to see, I do believe you would be Knight of Swordsing your way into that scenario to deal with it. But for some reason, it might be easier, and I don't knock you for this being your attitude if it is. Sometimes it's easier not to see the frickin' truth, because then if we see it, we have to feel that we have to do something about it. I'm going to use a shitty explanation, but it's like seeing a dirty toilet. I don't want to, this is such a terrible example, but it's like seeing a dirty toilet. And if you want to use it, you better clean it. But if I pretend I don't see it, then I'm just going to go ahead and continue to use it and not really care because I have a blindfold on. Do you know what I mean? God, that's such a terrible example, and I'm sorry, but that's what I'm trying to say is that something in your life, and you're going to need to decide if this fits for you, what this is. But there's two truths. There is, I got to think of something better than a toilet. There is this direction, there's that direction, and you're going to have to choose. You're going to need to remove your blindfold. This is your hope and your fear. Interesting. The hope being, I hope that I don't have to make a decision. I hope that I don't have to decide on that person, place, or thing. However, I fear that I'll be stuck in this blindfolded state the rest of my life, and I don't want that either. So do you see how this is a strappy position to be in, and I don't envy you one single bit. The tagline that goes with Two of Swords is willfully blinded. This person has chosen to be blindfolded. So do with that what you will. Remember, this is your mental category. This is swords. Something in your mind you've chosen to not see. The final outcome, the Six of Swords. Capricorn, putting yourself and any loved ones or family or friends along in the boat with you, setting off at night with your swords in your backpack and a couple swords there at the helm of the boat. This is your truth. This is your communication. This is you choosing to get the hell out of Dodge when Dodge represents chaos. This is you avoiding conflict. This is you avoiding a fight, any drama, any kind of bullshit. This is you if you have young kids at home and you're trying to leave a bad family, marriage, relationship. This is you just protecting those you love and sailing away to smoother waters and protecting yourself and your loved ones from any unnecessary conflict that wouldn't serve anybody anyway. So the Six of Swords traditionally just means for the sake of your mind, you're getting the hell out, sailing away to calmer waters. That is how January concludes. As promised, I'm bringing over the Wise Spell Tarot, and I'm going to just pull out 3 additional cards for you, Capricorn. Want to try to do a little clarification of any message we've had tonight on the board, or maybe we pull out something entirely new. So let's see, for the sign of Capricorn, what can we finish off this reading January 26th for them with? 10 of Pentacles, Va-Va-Voom, Lovers, Major Arcana, and the Ace of Cups. Wow. Wow. Okay. What I have to say as a final message, not really pulling anything that we've already talked about. This seems to be something new. What this is really saying is that you have a choice to make. You have a choice to make where it concerns your security, your longevity, your success, and your sustenance, your bank account. Let's call it that. Where it concerns your bank account, you have a divine choice to make. And what I'm going to say to you, take it or leave it, is choose yourself. Choose yourself, whatever that means for you. Have the self-respect, the dignity enough to make that divine choice to protect your wealth, your health, your money, your time, and love yourself, Ace of Cups. Last message for you is just to choose you. And if that means that you choose other people because you've chosen yourself first, hallelujah. If that means choosing yourself opts other people out, hallelujah. You're doing this for a divine reason. Capricorn, I hope this is a helpful message for you in some way, shape, or form. I would love to hear how this lands for you, if it does at all. I am so happy to be here to share information and assist you on your journey. So thank you. Capricorn, I would like to give you one last message in the form of an oracle card from Mystic Manifesting Oracle. What can we share with Capricorn? Mystic Circle. Connect with connect with ancestral wisdom and have patience on the journey. Mystic Circle. This reminds me of Virgo's Hermit. Connect with ancestral wisdom and have patience on the journey. The affirmation for you to use throughout January is, I am grounded in my path. I am grounded in my path. Capricorn, that is your January reading. Thank you for being here. Please, I would ask for a like, a subscribe, a share, a follow. If you wouldn't mind commenting something, if this helped you at all. I'm on TikTok and I'm on YouTube, and it was a pleasure to be here. I wish you a very happy, blessed, abundant new year. Namaste.